The story began during the most dangerous storm season in America every year. Countless tornadoes tore through small towns. Some people ran for their lives, others chased the storms instead. At the start of the story, Kate and her friends were part of a tornado-chasing team. They were not driving normal cars, and they were not chasing normal weather. They were chasing real tornadoes that day. The team drove straight toward a massive storm system forming in the distance. Everyone inside the car got excited as the dark clouds rolled across the sky. Kate brought several barrels filled with a special polymer. If they could launch it into the tornado, it could absorb moisture inside the storm and weaken it. After setting up the equipment, the team moved closer to the center of the storm. Meanwhile, Javi stayed behind to monitor the data through signal trackers based on Kate's prediction. This was supposed to be only an EF2 tornado, dangerous, but still manageable. But as the rain became heavier, something started to feel wrong. Kate's boyfriend could barely see the road ahead. Debris kept flying across the highway. Soon, Kate could not even tell where the tornado was anymore. Then she realized something terrifying. The storm had circled behind them. At that moment, their vehicle lost control and slammed into an obstacle. The polymer barrels spilled everywhere. The group jumped out into the violent wind and struggled to flip the vehicle back upright. Luckily, they managed to save it, but they had no choice except abandoning the barrels and driving away immediately. Seconds later, the tornado lifted every barrel into the sky. Even the tracking equipment got sucked inside. Far away, Javi quickly started analyzing the data, but moments later, his face changed completely. The tracker had already climbed over 60,000 feet into the air. That meant this was not an EF2 tornado at all. It was a massive EF5 monster. Even worse, Kate and the others were still trapped inside the danger zone. Rainwater flooded the roads. The tires kept losing traction. The wind slammed against the vehicle non-stop, while debris crashed into the car from every direction. And no matter how they looked at it, they were running out of options. Luckily, the vehicle did not flip over. Then they spotted a concrete bridge ahead. Everyone abandoned the car and started running, but before they even made it 30 feet, the vehicle got lifted straight into the sky. The remaining survivors crawled beneath the bridge. During the chaos, a flying sign sliced into Kate's leg. Her boyfriend quickly pulled her underneath the bridge. At that point, pain no longer mattered. Survival was the only thing that mattered. Within minutes, two of their teammates were swept away by the tornado. Kate's boyfriend held her tightly against the wall beneath the bridge, but against an EF5 tornado, their hiding spot stood no chance. In the end, he also got ripped into the sky by the storm. Kate became the only survivor. After the tornado finally passed, she completely broke down. She slowly walked alone across a destroyed highway filled with wreckage. 5 years later, Kate worked at a weather center in New York. She had completely left storm chasing behind. But one day, Javi suddenly showed up in New York to find her. Out of everyone from that disaster 5 years earlier, only the two of them survived. Over the years, Javi kept studying tornadoes. He developed a brand new radar system. If 3 radar scans were performed at the same time from different directions, they could create a complete tornado model. In the past, people could only measure a tornado's strength after it caused destruction, but with this system, they could predict the danger level much earlier and even evacuate residents ahead of time. Javi believed Kate was still the best storm chaser out there. Only she could accurately predict which storm clouds would produce tornadoes. Soon after, Javi brought Kate to the team's base camp. The place was packed with experts, NASA researchers, weather specialists, oceanic scientists, and emergency response crews all gathered there. But when it came to deciding which storm to chase, everyone still listened to Kate. Right in the middle of the discussion, another convoy suddenly pulled in. The leader was a guy named Tyler. He was a famous storm-chasing content creator online. His crew filmed dangerous tornado encounters and turned them into viral videos. Kate immediately disliked people like him. To her, Tyler treated danger like entertainment, but Tyler instantly realized Kate was the real deal. Soon, Kate identified a storm cloud in the west as the most likely target. The entire team immediately headed out. At the same time, Tyler's convoy followed behind them. As the storm structure shifted, the massive thunderclouds ahead started visibly rotating. Javi quickly ordered the vehicles to surround the tornado from 3 directions. That was the only way to collect full 3D radar data. While Javi explained the plan to Kate, the tornado slowly began forming right in front of them. Meanwhile, Tyler's team charged toward the storm as well. The tornado kept growing larger. Nearby wind turbines even started catching fire. Both teams rushed directly toward the tornado, compared to everyone else. Tyler's methods were far crazier. His crew drove modified off-road trucks straight through rough terrain into the storm zone. But before long, a broken turbine blade crashed down right in front of their vehicle, on the other side. Javi stayed focused on the mission. He ordered his team to deploy the radar systems at the assigned positions. The first radar station was set up successfully. The system powered on without problems. The second station also worked perfectly. Now only Kate and Javi's position remained. They needed to drive directly in front of the tornado to complete the final scan, but the moment Kate stepped out of the vehicle, the tornado instantly reminded her of the disaster from 5 years earlier. Javi kept yelling for her to move the equipment, then suddenly, Kate got knocked to the ground by the wind. As soon as she stood back up, she screamed for Javi to get back in the car while driving away. She claimed the position was wrong, but when Javi stopped again, they realized the tornado had already changed direction. At that exact moment, Tyler drove past them. After joking around for a second, he drove straight toward the tornado. He told his cameraman, "Buckle up." A second later, their entire vehicle disappeared into the tornado. Watching this happen, Javi became furious because he knew that if Kate had not backed out at the last second, they would have already collected the data they needed. But it was too late now. Luckily, it was peak tornado season. Another target appeared very quickly. The next day, Kate identified a new storm cloud. Everyone immediately headed out again. Tyler's crew followed close behind, based on the cloud structure, air moisture, and the warm southern airflow. Once the warm air broke through the atmosphere, it rapidly expanded into powerful storm clouds. Then, vertical wind shear caused the rising air to rotate. That rotation eventually formed a mesocyclone with a few additional conditions lining up perfectly. A tornado was finally born. This time, Tyler's drones quickly detected something shocking. Two tornadoes had formed side by side. Faced with such a rare sight, both teams became extremely excited, but soon, Tyler realized the two tornadoes were slowly separating.